Hello, kaiju fanatics and power scaling nerds. It's your favorite power scaler. I'm not a power scaler. Godzilla guy. I was told to do the intro by the man himself.
Yellow.
Today, he asked me a while ago, and we're like, let's just do a video on it. -1 in the Monsterverse. How would he hold up?
Yeah. Now, I do want to say, I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, well, realistically, everybody should one-shot, because Monsterverse Godzilla is this level of power. But we are not gonna do scaling in this video to make it more
boring.
interesting. Yeah, boo. Scaling sucks. Please don't kill me.
Here, wait. Since you have a power scaling audience, I just want to say real quick. The reason I don't like power scaling, to anyone wondering why, I'm not going for anyone specifically. It's just like a general thing. I like having fun debates, going over kaiju's weaknesses, like their, like what they've done, what they, have shown that they're able to do, going over everything, what they're incapable of, if another kaiju can exploit the other kaiju's weakness with one of their abilities. With power scaling, you throw all that one way. It's like, this guy scales higher, so he better. It's just simple and boring. It just sucks all the fun out of it. I like to have in-depth arguments and actual debates, not this guy scales higher. So, anyway, rant over.
Now I'm gonna be explaining the bracket for this, and the bracket goes Skullcrawler, Scylla, Behemoth, Amhuluk, Shinomura, male and female MUTO separately, Mechagodzilla, MUTO Prime Ghidorah, and finally Godzilla. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump straight into this entire video segment. You wanna kick it off?
First up, the Skullcrawler. Now this is a juvenile one. I don't really think it's much of an argument, given they got cut by katanas. And, well, spoiler, -1's slightly more dangerous than a katana. Sorry, should have put a spoiler warning, my bad. And any argument from you?
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and also, they don't really have a way to negate his regeneration or anything like that, so...
Yeah, I don't know how I forgot about that. That's gonna be tough. Alright, next up, Scylla.
I can do Scylla for this one, if you don't mind.
I just want to put 1 point in and then you can go.
Alright.
The one thing is, it's gonna be difficult for -1 against Lattice Kaiju because he can't really use his beam that much, because, I mean, he's relatively smart. But as we know, all the Monsterverse Kaiju, they feed off of radiation. I mean, Godzilla gets bombed to the face and gets amped when that happens. So, I mean, it'd be relative to say these guys do the same, given they all feed off of radiation. And we know Scylla does specifically, because in Godzilla Dominion, it said that she does. And she's really tired and hungry. So the question is, would Godzilla's beam pretty much, like, juice them up slightly? You got it.
Now, the thing with Scylla is that Scylla was able to fight against Godzilla Dominion, who... I know I said no scaling, but I just want to mention this for obvious reasons. Godzilla Dominion is clearly starving and weakens, and Scylla was, yes, able to cause, bleeding to him, but compared to the likes of -1, who can just regenerate from that in seconds, and the Atomic Breath should deal some damage to Scylla, Scylla really has no way of just beating or killing -1 at all, except just relentlessly stabbing him, which will do absolutely nothing since his regeneration. So I think Scylla is off the list. And also, just to note, one tail smack and she feared for her life. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick. She does have, abilities-wise, tentacles not gonna do anything. Shell not gonna do anything. Temperature manipulation, I mean, she can control the ice caps, but I don't think she'd be able to freeze him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So her abilities don't really work here at all. Next up, we have Behemoth.
I don't like Behemoth. I've gassed up myself and not liking him. Methuselah better. Spam Methuselah better in comments. Behemoth. He's there. He has tusks, and he got his ass handed to him by a swamp. He does also have really good regeneration too, though. Being able to regen quite a bit of his tusk after being beaten up. So.
Yeah. Likewise, though, in terms of strength, we don't really get to see much except him getting mollywopped by Amhuluk, so there's not really much to go off for him.
Yeah, and also, the only threat that he would have is his tusk, like, puncturing a massive hole in -1, but, I mean, given he's able to literally regen his head within a couple seconds, it's... Yeah. Not
to mention, just like Scylla, he doesn't really have a way to work around his regen or anything like that.
Yeah.
And now we have the guy that beat up Behemoth, Amhuluk.
You say Amhuluk?
Yes, I say.
Amhuluk. It's odd.
Womp womp, no one cares.
Wah, wah, wah.
But anyway.
He does have quite a bit of abilities, though. Want me to read over them?
Go ahead.
Yes, telekinesis. According to Godzilla Dominion's artist Drew Johnson, Amhuluk is merely a head of the spine. The rest of the body is using telekinesis assembly of a mass of plants. Camouflage, toxic emissions, amphibiousness, psychic blast. That's what I like. He's able to send a blast to the brain, which, as all of you guys loved my video on Heisei in the Monsterverse, was one of my arguments on how Amhuluk might actually be a slight threat to Heisei Godzilla, given one of his weaknesses is his second brain, so it would send a blast to his brain. Adaptability, being able to use anything around him to make his body. So that's the interesting thing. Would -1? I mean, if he beams right at Amhuluk's face, it would probably do some damage. Probably not kill him completely. They'll probably take a couple hits. But I mean, if any of his body gets destroyed, just make a new one on site.
The thing is that -1 can't really kill Amhuluk, but Amhuluk can beat up -1, but he also can't kill him as well. So it's kind of just a stalemate, but not
due to the head being like somewhat almost looking kind of vegetation-ish as well, not just his body, but his head also seeming like somewhat like wood-ish. I think -1 might be able to pass him just from like burning him alive.
Probably, yeah.
Which I just want to put something in this video because I like reaching out to other audiences. I've seen people say Scylla would beat Amhuluk because Scylla actually fought Godzilla. No. Keep in mind, Amhuluk's pretty smart, being able to use telekinesis. Amhuluk probably realized, maybe me being a giant wooden monster going against a fire-breathing lizard isn't the best idea. Let me stand down. I think I don't know why people think Scylla beats Amhuluk, but little rant over. I think he'd pass by Amhuluk. I mean, it'd just be a back and forth of chopping at each other and just regenning. Yeah. But I feel like just due to him actually having a beam, that'd be more useful.
Agreed. I think this is like after this is probably like where he stops maybe. But Amhuluk is
next up,
like this is like the
Shinomura. Shinomura is what Shin Godzilla wanted to be. Being able to manipulate his body on command, split into two. Me and FDA had a video over on Kaiju Cowboys, where we talked about if every Monsterverse Kaiju got in a fight, who'd win. We said Shinomura not because he's the strongest, fastest, but just due to his insane regeneration. Now the thing is though, Shinomura, the way he died is from a atomic bomb blast. Now the question is this blast as powerful as Castle Bravo? Which I think they said how many grams of uranium they needed in the shot, but it was like 100 something. If he makes it past Shinomura, it'd be insane difficulty, but I think Shinomura just being how tanky he is.
I think Shinomura would take the win over -1.
Yeah.
I also think he has just better regeneration, like it acts quicker. And also -1 like he's not going to be able to handle like Shinomura splitting up into two different, entities. He can just like they even stated that if Shinomura kept growing, he would have covered the sky.
One of my I'm about to say that. One of my favorite statements ever. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's a cool one.
Now you don't realize how big that is until you go outside, which I know a lot of you power skillers don't do. Sorry. That threat's my next comment video. But I mean, if you like go outside and look, it's like, damn. Imagine that whole thing is being covered by a kaiju. Massive, a planetary-sized kaiju.
Now, let's say theoretically he does end up making it past Shinomura just by the atomic breath, right?
I honestly think he'd make it past male, but not female. Male's just too scrawny. I feel like if he took a bomb right beside him, he'd get pretty injured. Female's just too big. Female would just step on him and just... I mean, as you know, female can burrow, at least to an extent, being able to dig into the ground and lay the eggs. Yeah. So, she would just, just... at him over and over and over until he's just, like, eviscerated.
I don't think he beats male MUTO, just mainly because... just the way that he could just pierce into Godzilla's skin. Yeah, -1 could just regen that, but the constant just slashing at him, and the fact that once he uses the atomic breath, and like he can't use it or move or do anything like that for a couple of how was it? It was like minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just gonna give the male Muto a huge advantage. And also just his like maneuverability. -1 is like pretty slow and clunky, so that's definitely gonna be a challenge for him.
Yeah.
And I know all of you guys are gonna be like, what about the Muto's EMP? Well, -1 doesn't
Like, really be effective against him.
He
do
also
much.
he doesn't run on the same energy as Monsterverse Godzilla does. So, and with the Mutos being a specific counter to Monsterverse Godzilla, the EMP wouldn't be effective here.
Thank God you mentioned that. Now, from now on, anyone who says that Monsterverse Goji loses to Super X because of the cadmium missiles, you can't take something that's used in some other verse. This argument, that didn't make sense at all. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. How you said how, you know, MUTOs are designed to take out Monsterverse Godzilla. Super X wouldn't one-tap Monsterverse. It's meant for Heisei Goji, not Monsterverse Goji.
I don't think the same logic applies there.
The
but...
amount of stuff that people said on that video of mine, they're like, you wanna make fast Super X. Cadmium bullets would kill him. Anyway.
I think that about does it for this video. Let's say
Yep.
he somehow makes it past the female Muto.
Yeah,
He's getting ragdolled by Mechagodzilla. Muto Prime is
one beam to the
throwing,
face.
Yeah.
Gone.
Muto Prime is chucking her across the planet. Ghidorah is gonna just drop him from the sky, and Godzilla is just going to
Fart.
I can't say these words or else I would get demonetized. But he would proceed to beat and possibly do something to him. There's a very specific word, but I can't use that. But that does about it for the video. Godzilla guy, you got anything else to say?
Imagine if Ninja got a low taper fade.
Alright.
Imagine if Ninja got a low taper fade.